Hello and welcome to the Magic Kings podcast featuring the great big beautiful dads. My name is Steve and I am a travel agent with Just Add Magic Travel. I can help you for free plan your trip to Disney World or Disney destinations or other destinations. And I'm not here with Mike tonight, who is my co-host, but I'm here with another great big beautiful dad. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. I'm Andres, and I am one half of the Real Dads of Boston on Instagram. Big Disney fans, and have a lot to say about the Disney parks and experiences.
Wow, the Real Dads of Boston. If you don't follow them, you got to follow them on Instagram. So we know each other because I was trying to trace this, and you're my wife's former coworker's husband. No. My wife's former coworker's husband's former coworker's husband. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm also the godson to her child, so the godfather to her child. So
okay, all right.
There's that lineage there. But yes. So we're all close that way, and by association, when your wife's former coworker would tell me stories about where they used to work, I felt honorary because I knew everything that was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
In their line of work. So it was great.
Yeah, you know how crazy it was. Yeah. So, and we live in the same town.
We do.
And I don't think that you knew that I was like a Disney guy.
No, not at all. I actually will say I was so pleasantly surprised because we had talked about Disney before, and you guys have gone to Disney and stuff like that. So, like, there is a a like for Disney. Didn't know you were like an aficionado to the point that when I saw the post on social media, I was like, get out. And I even told your wife, I was like, what is this about? What did I miss? So I was very excited to know that I had a fellow, Disney nerd in the vicinity.
That's right. Hey, but when you start to say that you like Disney, the people start to come out of the woodwork. It's like everybody has had that experience. I feel like everybody goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In their life, it's such a rite of passage almost. But you're from Florida.
I am.
So here's what we're gonna do. Because I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, we have on this podcast something called what we call the lightning lane round of questions, and it's just questions that we ask every guest just to get a sense of what kind of guys you are. What's your vibe with Disney. Yep. So the first question, and I think you might have a tough one with this one. In fact, I don't think you're going to be able to answer it. The question is, how many times have you been to Disney World?
Oh my gosh. So when I was a child, we went a handful of times, and then my brothers were born, so we went a couple more times. So it wasn't a lot of times. It wasn't until I actually turned 20, I want to say. I'm 37 now. Oh, wow. So when I was 20, I went through this phase where I went 3 or 4 times a year.
Wow.
So I did like the Food and Wine Festival, the Halloween. So I would do the festivals and then just go to the parks just to go to the parks. And so it was great. And then I moved to Boston in 2013. And now I go less frequent, but I still go.
Yeah. So you've probably been...
Oh my God.
40 times, something like that? 50 times?
No, too much.
Wow, all right, okay, all right.
We're going to be like a good solid, excluding the childhood, because everything's different now, but from adulthood, a solid 20-ish.
Okay, all right, we'll give you 20.
Yeah.
We'll give you 20. Yeah, that's a high number. That's higher than me. And you may have said this. How old were you when you first went?
The first time I went to Disney, I was 1.
Wow. How was that one?
I was 2. I was 2 years old, and my dad and my mom took me to the Mickey Mouse experience. And I have this photo ingrained in my head where I'm sitting on the floor with Mickey Mouse because the experience was much different, back in the 80s.
Right.
And then we were able to bring our son full circle when he was 1 with my dad. So it was like a full circle moment. Wow. So it was really nice. So yeah, the first time I went, I was 2.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And then the rest was downhill from there.
The
the passion started from that day on. But in a twist of fate, loved Mickey Mouse and all the cartoons. And then when I got to meet him in person, apparently I was terrified and just ran away and could not. It took me a minute to kind of warm up to him.
You hear that a lot. I mean, it is a little scary. Those guys, they're gigantic, and it's like it was a little
the
cartoon.
eye thing.
Yeah,
the eyes are massive. They're just looking at you. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like you're in trouble all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So You're familiar with the My Disney Experience app?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know you have like a character on that app that's like your profile picture? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the question is, do you have to pull out your phone, or do you know who is your? It's Mickey.
It's Mickey Mouse. My love for Mickey Mouse is deep rooted. It's my dad jokes. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's your other father." Yeah. That's how it's this. It's probably unhealthy, but actually, now that we're talking about this, full true story, I said Mickey and Pluto before I said mom and dad. I'm not even exaggerating. We can call my parents and verify at this moment. And it's because my entire bedroom or nursery was baby Mickey and Pluto themed.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Okay. All right.
And so they would always show me the pictures, and I just started to say that before I said mom and dad.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's deep rooted, man. It's embedded in the blood.
Wow, that's a first.
It's one of those, it's a interesting icebreaker.
That's right. What's your first word? Yeah, yikes. Wow. All right. Well, it's good. It's Mickey Mouse. That's like the default on that app. We had another guest on here who I asked, and he didn't even know, and it turned out it was Mickey Mouse because he'd never even. You chose to keep it.
I chose to keep Mickey Mouse, and I want to confirm. I know it's Mickey Mouse, but I don't know if it's Wizard Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Or if it's just plain Mickey Mouse. I'm pretty sure it's a Wizard.
So it's funny.
It is Wizard. It's the Wizarding Hat.
Okay. So you're the same as my co-host there, Mike. And he chose that because his favorite movie was Fantasia as a child, which is also a little unusual, I would say.
Yeah, because it's not a child. It's a weird movie for kids to like because it's really nothing but music. Which I get if you like classical music 100%.
That's what he said. He was like, I love the music. But it's like, it's like an artsy like.
So the love I have for this version of Mickey Mouse comes from Fantasmic.
Oh yeah,
because he closes the show, and so I mean, obviously, I've loved it from the Fantasia movie too.
Yeah.
But Fantasmic was really like that show to me will still be bar none the best show that I've ever seen to date.
So I'm gonna skip a couple of questions and go to one of the questions. What is your favorite show at Walt Disney World?
Fantasmic. It honestly is Fantasmic, only because I think for the scale. Obviously, Disneyland has their version, right, which is still beautiful. It's amazing. They do it on Rivers of America. But for Hollywood Studios, they built that theater specifically for that show.
Right.
And so it's on such a scale.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that we saw, images projected on water.
Mind-blowing.
Fire coming out of the water.
Yeah.
These characters dancing on the boats. Oh, my God. It's just... I obsess over that show. Yeah. To the point where when Jonathan and I went for the first time, he had never seen it. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of excited to see what his reaction was going to be.
Yeah.
And the show ended, and he just kind of looked. He was like, "That was really freaking cool." Yeah. And I was like, "Yes, yes, it is. That's why I wanted you to see it, because it's an amazing show."
It is.
So yeah, that is my favorite show, bar none.
No, that you're not the first person to say that in this podcast. So that's up there for me too. It's an incredible. Wait, so what's show.
Yours then?
Mine is Festival of the Lion King. It's a little.
Oh, but that's a great show, though. I can't. Yeah.
The guy.
That is a great
It's
show.
The guys who are on the trampolines, like dressed like monkeys.
The monkeys.
It's the fire guys.
Yep.
And when we went last time, my daughter Fran got to play like a tambourine or whatever and walk around, and she just loved that. So I was like, that got me.
Do you know how that show came about?
No.
So that show used to be a parade. So when the Lion King opened, when Simba comes out, the animatronics, those were parade floats that they repurposed and made a show for Animal Kingdom because they didn't have a show.
And was the parade was in?
It was in Magic Kingdom.
Yes. Okay. So I actually kind of remember this
parade. Lion King parade that they turned into a show.
I totally saw that. Wow, man! Unlocking the core memory.
I just got goosebumps. What was an actual float? They turned into a show, and it's a fun show. It's such a fun show. What a great way to repurpose something and not get rid of it.
Absolutely. And there's so many repurpose. That could be an episode. So many repurpose things around.
1000%.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. All right, we're gonna go back to your favorite park at Disney World.
Oh man.
Tough. It's tough stuff.
So, my favorite park, I think, is always going to be Magic Kingdom.
Okay, yeah.
Not because of the thrill rides, but I think just because of what you feel when you're there.
Yes.
So I think Hollywood Studios has a different level, a different vibe, right? Yes. I think Hollywood Studios is kind of like, hey, these are the cooler rides. These are kind of pushing the envelope. It's a little more adult or older kid friendly.
Yep.
Epcot, very educational. Love it. I love eating and drinking around the world as everybody else does. Phenomenal. And Animal Kingdom, I still love Animal Kingdom. I think Animal Kingdom is my least favorite park.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair.
Not for anything. I just feel like it needs more.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just lacking.
And right now it's a little tough. Dinoland's kind of Dinoland, you know. Doing a lot of upgrades. Dinoland's okay, but it's going to be so much better.
But yeah, Magic Kingdom, I think just because even as an adult, even my parents, my dad is 71 years old. My mom is 68. Like we go together as a family. And my brothers too, and my friends, and we feel like kids. We feel like kids. Like you don't have to worry about work. You're not worrying about stress. You get to now, as being parents, you see it through your kids' eyes, and they are so over the moon to see the characters and the parades and the rides. Like something so, listen, I despise It's a Small World. Contrary to popular belief.
Hot
and I
take.
think it's, you know what I think it is? The song gets stuck in my head and I can't get it out. So it becomes an earworm. So I've grown almost like a disdain for it. Yes. But we went on it with our son, and he loved it. Yeah. He thought it was so cool to see the characters, and so seeing his excitement kind of reignited my excitement, right? Like I had to pull back on my personal feelings on it and be like, oh, but he really likes it, so you know what? It's not so bad. Yeah, I cannot be such a jerk about it.
Right. I've come around. When I was a teenager, I would almost refuse to ride it. I was there. I was like, I can't. And now I actually really enjoy it.
It's actually a break.
It's like a hot take. It's a break.
Once you get on there, it's a break. It's cool in there. It's actually, you don't have to do a lot of thinking.
Right.
You end up getting an actual kind of a reset. Yeah. It's okay. I appreciate it now. I appreciate it now.
Yeah. So yeah, Magic Kingdom is my favorite too. Yeah. I'll throw this one at you too, because I know you're a world traveler with Disney. What's your favorite park that you've been to around the world? Is it still Magic Kingdom?
Still Magic Kingdom.
Oh, good to know.
My goal is to, at some day, to make it to Disneyland Tokyo.
Oh,
I want to go to that and Tokyo
top of my list,
because everything that I see is just, now that I feel like they've done an amazing job there.
If I could go anywhere in the world, the next place I want to go generally is Japan, Tokyo, and spend a few days at the Disneyland or whatever, and Disney Sea. That looks unbelievable.
They're just on another level.
They are
another level.
It seems so great. All right, your favorite ride, and you have to pick one at Disney World.
Okay, so
It's a Small World.
Definitely not. But no, now because I've actually been on it, and I think just what they were able to do with very little makes it so impressive. I think my favorite ride is Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah, wow.
Galaxy. Because,
you and Mike would get along. That's
because
his too.
It's just, and again, I go back to the technology of things, what they've been able to do with a roller coaster that just spins 360 on its axle, but then the entirety of the roller coaster is just projection screens.
Right.
But it is the coolest thing. The music is great. My dad, again, 70-year-old man, got off that ride like a little kid, let's do it again. I was like, Dad, we have a virtual queue, man. We can't just get in line again. Relax. So it is, I just think it checked off the theming, the thrill, it was just, I really, really appreciate that ride. And I think to this day, I think that nothing has topped it at this moment.
Yeah. No, that is a no-brainer, top level ride at Disney for sure. Yeah, it's a great one. All right. Favorite resort at Disney World?
Oh, okay. So I've been to quite a few. Honestly, I think this one is my favorite for a lot of reasons, not just because I feel like everyone kind of always gravitates to the most expensive ones just because of X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
But I don't necessarily agree with that because, listen, the Grand Floridian is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Meh.
Yeah.
Do I think it's amazing? No, because it's not what I want.
Right.
So I think the art of animation, I think what they did with the art of animation, I think is really, really nice because I feel like you're kind of in the middle ground of, it's not overly expensive, kind of like Grand Floridian or the Dolphin and the Swan hotels.
Yep.
And it's also not as not expensive as the All Stars movies and, all those resorts. It's kind of some middle ground there. Yes. And it's cool. They've done really cool things with the rooms. They have Murphy beds integrated into the room. So it's really, really cool. And if you're a Lion King fan, it's great. My son's a Nemo fan. We were dying to go into the Nemo one because I think he would have just lost his mind.
Yeah.
So I just think I like it. I like it. And it's a cool walkable path around the resort itself. So it's a nice hotel. I think that's my favorite one.
We stayed there last time we went, actually. It was for the first time and I loved it. I think it's the best pool of any value for sure, the Finding Nemo pool. The Skyliner right there. And sometimes I feel the Valley resorts, I'm I'm like walking and walking. It's like so gigantic. I don't know if it's any smaller than the other ones. It felt more manageable though. I don't know. I really liked Art of Animation. Yeah.
Do you know the history of the Art of Animation?
So it was gonna be the decades.
Yep. It was gonna be the decades one. Yeah.
You didn't get me on that one.
I fell down a rabbit hole and I was like, what? No way. But it's cool because you can see the structure. It's the same structure as what the other ones are. So I'm glad that they gave it a nicer facelift and just brought it, to this world instead of sticking to like just making it. I think value immediately gets associated with like not top tier, and it really shouldn't be. So I think that's kind of a nice marriage between the two.
No, that's it. And we said this before. Like any of the resorts, the cheapest, like all the All Stars, it's nicer than any resort you're gonna stay at. Like, outside of Disney. Yeah. And I love those resorts though, and they are the least expensive. But okay, we got a couple more here. Let's see. Sure. What's a dream resort you haven't stayed at yet, but that you would like to?
Ooh, you know what? The Polynesian. Only because I love everything Hawaiian themed. I love like the theming of the resorts themselves. Like they have the little cabanas on the water. Yep. Like it's just such a pretty hotel. Yeah. I would want to stay there. I think that's something that's been on my bucket list. Yeah. Plus I like the Ohana restaurant. I've gone there a bunch of times just to do meet and greet dinners and breakfasts. Yep. So I think that's my dream one. Just because it almost kind of feels like a little getaway in Orlando, right? Because of the tiki huts and like just the theming of it all. Like it's not just another hotel. Right. Like it's again going with the theming and the branding. It's like, oh, it's a little escape from like there's Disney, but now I kind of stepped into Hawaii a little bit, right?
That's right. So yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I've never stayed there. I would love to. That's up on my list. That is a really nice one. Yeah. All right, we're gonna hit favorite restaurant. This is like the toughest one for
people. Oh, okay. I will say, I have two on property. Meaning in the parks, I love the Beauty and the Beast restaurant.
Oh, Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest, yes.
Yeah, wow.
Be Our Guest.
Okay.
Be Our Guest, an amazing experience. Again, the theming is great. That's Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite movies. Yeah. So it's kind of nice to be able to step into the castle. Right. Everything was delicious. And they really give you gray stuff, which is really cool.
It's like the biggest dessert at Disney.
It is. It's insane. Yeah. So I love that one. I guess, okay. I may have three. Sorry, I may have three. So I have that one. And then off property in Disney Springs, I love Raglan Road.
Yeah, okay.
I love Raglan Road. We've gone there so many times, and the food's always good. Yeah. They do river dancing in the middle of the restaurant, and it's just great. So great. Yeah. And then the third one that I really, really like is in Avatar Land in Animal Kingdom. I can't remember the names. I think something Cantina.
Satuli,
maybe, yes. Yeah. They have like this brick of like a chicken finger thing that's just so good, so juicy. Yeah. Everything we had there is great. Yeah. Those are my top three. Wow. Sorry, I gave you more than one, but because I feel like when I'm thinking of like where I want to go, I'm like, I would choose those every time.
Yeah. No, that's the one. Nobody can just pick one. I mean, there's so many good options.
100%.
So we got, I think, three more here of these, and this is just the lightning. I mean, we're not even into it yet. That's fine. I could sit here and talk about this all day. Though. Yeah, same. I'm good. So, favorite snack.
Oh, churros. Hands down. Oh. Churros, hands down. I don't care what time of day it is. I will have a churro. Wow. I'm not an ice cream lover, but second to churro, I will always get a Mickey Mouse classic chocolate, what do you call it? Vanilla chocolate coated bar.
The bar. Oh, the bar. Yes. Yeah. So the head. It's the bar versus sandwich is a debate.
Yeah, I don't like the sandwich.
Yeah, I'm more on the bar.
Yeah,
I'm with
like
you.
The bar.
I do like the sandwich too, but I'm more of a bar guy. Yeah.
But churros are my thing. I think it's because it's one of those things. It's almost like a little being Hispanic. Like we grew up on churros, so it's kind of like a cool little piece of like I don't know. It's not a very American dish, so to speak. Right. So it's just nice to have it there, and it's different.
Okay. We got two more here. Underrated attraction or experience anywhere at Disney World. This is a tough one.
Underrated.
And this is tough too, because is it underrated if it's less popular among the general population? Is it underrated if Disney fans like? I said dinosaur because I think Disney fans don't like it, but I do. But people generally, I think it's fine.
I feel like dinosaur gives me whiplash. I think that's why I've never been a fan of dinosaur. And everything is so dark, you can't see anything. I was like,
it's great.
Okay, I'm kind of like riding around. I hear the noises, but I don't see anything. And I was like, oh, there's a dinosaur. Okay, underrated. You know what? Actually, only because we just went on it, and I was actually very impressed with how much fun I had, more so than the Dumbo ears. The Astro Orbiter.
Oh,
the Astro Orbiter.
Can I tell you
because
something?
It's so high.
Yes.
So you see everything, number one. Number two,
yes,
you kind of get the same feeling of Dumbo, but almost like faster. Like it
Yes.
feels more,
Yes.
a little bit more intense.
Yes.
And our son loved it.
Yeah.
And I think his excitement made me excited because it's a ride that till this day, I've only ridden twice.
Yeah.
And
right.
the last time was this past year.
Can I tell you something? And I've said this on this podcast. That is, and not to say it's a bad ride, it is my least favorite ride. Mm-hmm. It's too high. It's too high for me. I can't. I feel like I'm gonna actually rocket off into space. It's like this thing has gone around a million times, but I'm gonna be in the one that just like shoots
takes off
and goes to Mars. So I can do any ride. Like I don't have any fear of it, but that's the one. That's the one that gets me.
Yeah,
I can't do it, but. It is a great ride.
It is a great ride. And I think the other one that's super underrated is probably the People Mover. Everyone hates the People Mover, but it is such a break.
Yes.
You just get to sit there. I've literally, not even kidding, probably taken like a good 5-minute nap on that ride.
Everyone has.
And just lean my head back and I was like, oh, I need to just, my feet are throbbing. All right. Yeah. And it's just great.
No,
it's great.
I love the People Mover. Someone else has said that on this podcast. People Mover is awesome. No argument for me. All right, last one here. Magical moment or a pixie dust. If you've ever been pixie dusted, you can share that, or just a magical moment that you can relate from your Disney World career.
So when they first started with the pins, last time, whatever, I was a huge fan of them because I would always go for my birthday, and it was kind of like my birthday's always been a point of contention for me because it's right after the holidays. It's in January. It's now in Boston. It's frigid. Nobody wants to go out. Nobody wants to do anything. And I get it. Like, it's just everyone's broke after, Christmas. Like, it's just, I understand. So I would make it a point to go to Disney and then kind of do my own little celebration the way that I wanted to. And I would always put my birthday pin. And I think what was really cool was just having random people just be like, happy birthday. Yeah. And it just made you feel a little special, right? Because it's just randos. Granted, it's the pin. Obviously, they see it. Right. But, like, they don't have to say it. They well, I'm sure they do. But, like, even, like, people that are in line, right? Sure. Like, fellow park goers are saying it, too. And it's a conversation starter. Right. And then the first couple times that I went, I would always get something free. One thing free. Wow. So, like, one time I got a Dole Whip for free. I got a churro for free. And then I think the last thing I got for free was, I think, the Mickey Mouse ice cream bar. And so it was kind of cool. I don't think they do that anymore, especially like on really, really busy days, because it's just like whatever. Right. But it was just so, like, I didn't expect it. Like, you don't go in expecting anything, but it was an added layer of like, wow, that was so sweet. Like, I get it. It's my birthday. You didn't have to, but even if you did, you didn't make me feel like you had to. So it was really nice. It was really nice. So I think those are the little pixie dust moments that I kind of remember and I really, really like.
That's amazing. Yeah. And for those who don't know, like, you can get a pin if you're celebrating anything. You get it at the parks, resorts, whatever. You can say I'm celebrating graduation, birthday, anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. And it's just, it's a nice, cool little thing. And maybe you'll get a free ice cream.
That's right. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
I'm gonna have to go on
first. If like it's a first time visit, like, I think it also depends on what you're celebrating. I think birthdays are the easiest ones to usually get free stuff, or like maybe like anniversaries or just married, like one of those things.
So my birthday's right near Halloween, and that gives us a little segue into what
I love it.
On the podcast game, we call it segue.
Segue into Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
That's right. I wanted to have you on for many reasons. Yeah. Partially just because it's like talking about like you're a guy who just go about Disney. I'm the same.
Many opinions and rants on Disney.
Oh yeah, I love it.
All good, all bad, all in between.
I love it. So this is something that I regrettably have never experienced. I'm hoping maybe the next year or two, like a late summer, August. Like I'm hoping to do it, but I wanted to ask because tickets are now on sale. Yep. And we're thinking about summertime up here in New England where we are, but they're thinking about fall in Disney World because of the Not So Scary Halloween Party. So what I wanted to do is just give the floor to you a little bit. I have maybe some questions for you, but I wanted to just get your thoughts, maybe your top level kind of hot takes or opinions, overviews of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Magic Kingdom, August to October every year. What can you tell us?
Well, funny, it wasn't August before. It used to start in September.
Okay.
And it would go to September and October, and I think because it would sell out so quickly, they've extended it to August. Wow. Kind of weird if you're going down.
Absolutely. It's
full
1,000 degrees.
In August for Halloween, but hey, I get it. Yeah. But Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a really cool way to experience the park with less crowds, because if you don't have a ticket, you have to leave.
Right.
And you get to wear your costume. You can't wear masks fully because they just, for safety reasons. But actually, that may have changed because we just did that at Disneyland.
It has not.
It has not. Okay.
Yeah, I looked this up. Yeah, you cannot unless you're under 14.
Correct. That's what it is. Yes, because we went with 7-year-old, 2 7-year-olds, and a toddler. So they let us put the mask on, so it was fine. Yeah. But it is really cool. It is an insane amount of candy. Yeah. Insane, like to where I ended up wasting half of it because there was no way. Yeah. There was no way. I'd have no teeth left.
Shovelfuls.
Yeah, especially at the end. If they didn't get rid of a lot of it, they literally would just dump their buckets into your bag. The cast are all excited. You get to meet different characters in their different getups. So one time we got to meet Stitch in his Elvis costume. So like Elvis Stitch.
Yep.
You get to see Max, Goofy's son, in like the Powerline costume.
Oh yeah.
Minnie and Mickey are always matching, of course. Always some sort of dynamic duo. Donald's a ghost half the time. Yeah. Daisy's like a corn. Actually, Donald was candy corn last year, I think.
Oh, that's a good one.
So it was kind of funny because his butt was candy corn.
Yeah, right.
It was just so. I mean, it's really cool. You get to see things in a kind of like a different light. You get a little bit more of those Pixie experiences because it is smaller. Right. A lot of little like DJ parties, dance parties, and then they have I think it's called the Spooktacular Parade. I've lost track of all the names.
Sure. Yeah.
But they have the nice parade and then they have the nighttime fireworks show.
Right. So
it's cool.
I mean, and the shovelfuls of candy. I mean, you can't
beat that.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that.
So what I hear about this is like the shows. So there's as you said, there's the parade. There's the stage show that's like the Hocus Pocus stage show.
Oh,
and then
well, that now is by far one of the coolest shows because now they bring out Jack in like this full-on puppet animatronic like thing.
Oh,
so
Jack
it's actually like a puppet, really.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
From Nightmare Before Christmas. Yep, they bring out Jack. They bring out the 3 witches from Hocus Pocus, and it's like a whole villains thing. So it's nice because I think, especially now with having Epic Universe as like their competitor and having Dark Universe, now the focus is on the villains because a lot of people like the villains for X and Y reasons.
Right.
So it's the one time where you get to really have fun with the villains. And Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas is everywhere too. He kind of narrates a lot of things, and yeah, it's great. It's fun time.
That's awesome. So yeah, what I've heard is with those 3 shows, I don't know if you've done this, if you're like a big into the shows or kind of how you've experienced the party in the past, but if you get your spot in front of the castle, you can just like boom, boom, boom. The parade comes, the show comes, the fireworks.
Yep.
Is that that? Would you say that's a good way to do it for people who are listening?
So the last time that I did it, we did it kind of similar to that, and it did work out. There was a little bit of lag though, and it's kind of almost like wasted time, I guess, if you will. So if you're trying to, because some people will do one or the other, right? So you can spend all day in the park, leave, change, and come back.
Yep.
Or just make the after party your own experience,
right?
But obviously in doing that, I think it starts at 6.
Yeah, so I think you start at 6, you can get in at 4. Yeah. And I think you said this, but it is a separate ticket.
It's a separate ticket.
So you can't, if you want to go to the park during the day, that's a park ticket, any park. And then this is a separate ticket. So you can get in starting 4 for the party, and it goes till midnight or something, or 11?
I think 11.
Yeah, 11.
I think it's
okay.
11.
Yeah.
So 6 to 11, not a short window, right? It's 5 hours. Yeah, but if you're trying to do more than just the shows and right. So I think that's where it gets tricky. So really, it's kind of choose your own journey. Yes. So yes, if you do get in front of the park, you can totally do all 3 in one. But if you're also trying to do a ride in there, and you're not, if you're okay missing the parade, fine, miss the parade, go ride a ride and then come back, kind of thing. So really is choose your own. But yeah, they're great. And also, I'm a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, another one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And This Is Halloween is like the baseline track for like almost everything that they do for Halloween. So it's just on repeat. So I'm like, this is great. And our son loves it too. So I'm just like, awesome. I just cloned myself and I'm raising a clone. So it's fine.
That's good.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, I get the sense, and this is what, I've heard from people and kind of what I've figured out in looking into it is that there's really a few reasons to go. One is all the special Halloween stuff, the candy, the special shows, the characters you can meet Jack and Sally, right? It's probably, I'm sure, the only time at Disney World that you can meet Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Like you were saying, the character like Max and the characters in the outfits. So all the special Halloween things, and then another big reason to go is that the park is less crowded and you can just slam out 100 rides at Magic Kingdom, but you can't really expect to do both of those things.
Not entirely, no. Right. There's no way. There's not enough time.
Right.
There's not enough time. I remember one of the last times I went, I was wearing kind of like a vampire costume, and I had on a cape. And we get on Big Thunder Mountain. Oh God! And there was no wait, of course. So of course, instead of waiting 3 hours, we got in and we walked in on the ride.
Right.
And I went with 2 girlfriends of mine, so they were sitting in the front and I was sitting in the back, and I sat on the cape, and all I did was slide from side to side on that caboose of the train. Every time we took a turn, I was sliding on the other way. So it was just really funny. But yeah, you're right. It is less crowded. You get to ride a lot of rides that maybe. And they do a lot of cool theming for some of the rides. So like some of the cast members might be like a little spookier. They make the Haunted Mansion a little spookier. Sometimes, I don't know. They used to do this in Disneyland. I don't know if they still do it in Disney World. They did at one point. One of the ghosts from one of the 999 haunts of Haunted Mansion would sit by the cemetery or by the horse and like do like almost like a live comedic show, like a roasting show. So like you'd pass by and she would just talk smack about you or make a funny joke or, say... like judge your costume or something like that. So it was really, really cool. Again, I don't know if they've done it. I think a lot of things have changed after COVID, but it was just a cool way to like, just again, that added layer of theming and experience and, that immersive feeling of like, okay, I'm here for Halloween. Oh, look, there's a lady all white talking to me in the middle of the cemetery. Okay, that's cool. Right. So it's pretty cool.
Those things you can't see any other time. Yeah, no,
right. You're not going to see that any other time because it's not just it's for the holiday.
That's amazing. And the other thing you started to talk about this, but is like their ride overlays, or like the special. So they have the Haunted Mansion. They do. Is it true? Space Mountain is completely in the dark. I don't know if you've done
something like that, I believe, and then I think they project almost like not scary faces, but like some like ghostly faces, like in the room.
Yeah,
that's the last thing that I was told. I actually haven't experienced that one. Not to get off topic but the one in Disneyland is even cooler because they overlay the entire Haunted Mansion as Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've seen that on YouTube. Yeah,
it is the most amazing. So, fun fact: last year we took Julian for his 3rd birthday to Disneyland. Yeah, wow. And I was so adamant for him to see this ride. But the poor kid had not taken a nap. And by the time we got onto the ride, he KO'd hard. Hard to where like he was not responsive. What happens? The ride breaks down. So we got to walk off the ride and see this 8-foot tall Jack animatronic moving, like all the overlays in full action. It gave me every nerd fantasy imaginable. Every dream just came to reality. I literally was looking, I was like, oh, there are the wires. That's the robot. Oh my God, it was the coolest freaking thing. And then I'm carrying Julian. I was like, you're missing all of this, dude. But I didn't want to wake him up, so it's fine. But it was an experience. So I wish they would do that in Disney World. I know why they don't, because obviously Disney World being the biggest park. But they still add, different layers of aspects to it, to a lot of their rides. So it's just cool. It's just fun.
Yeah. So this year, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Yeah, as you mentioned, now it used to be just September. It starts middle of August. August 15th is the first day. And it runs through Halloween. And it does sell out. I mean, I don't know when you bought you have to get them early, especially early. For like if you want to go on Halloween. And actually for the August dates, they sell out, pretty quick. So I can do that for you. Get in touch with me, Steve at justatmagictravel.com. And then a couple of things, just some of the so the Jungle Cruise is closed. I don't know if you're aware. Yeah, the Jungle Cruise is closed. A couple of things at the PhilharMagic, Carousel of Progress, Tiki Room are closed.
God, the Carousel of Progress.
You love it so much.
You want to talk about a snooze fest? I think the theory and the concept is there. It's just so outdated. Yeah. Like it just needs to be brought to life a little bit.
Well, the thing about the carousel, the last scene, which is like in the future.
We've surpassed that.
Yeah, we're very much past it, but it's sort of funny to think I don't know if that part was made in the 60s or if that was updated at any point. I mean, even if it was from the 70s, 80s, whatever, because it's not changed, at least since the 90s when I went.
No.
But, they got the voice activates. They got like a lot of the video game, like the virtual reality stuff. I'm like, okay, they kind of knew. They had an idea where things were going.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
it's just I respect it for what it is. It's impressive for what it is, but I think when you're competing against the likes of Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, my God, you cannot even come close to it. And again, not that everything needs to be a thrill ride. I just think we can keep the essence of what it is, but give it a little facelift.
A little love.
A little upgrade. We are in 2025.
That's right.
This was what 1960 was when it was built, or something.
64 something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been some time.
It's been some time.
Like, and I think the problem is too. Like, for example, It's a Small World was the New York State Fair was when Walt Disney made that happen and then brought it to California. Great. It has withstood the test of time because there's no time stamp on it.
Right.
It's people based. It's country based. It's humanity based. So it can stay the same forever and ever and ever and still be a popular ride because of what it is. Right. I think for the Carousel of Progress, there's no progress.
Well, how ironic. I think that and they did a thing in like the 90s. They updated Tomorrowland.
Yep.
Because it is a challenge to say, like, how is something going to look futuristic when the future comes?
Yeah.
Right. And so they kind of had to and they'll probably continue to have to redo it or kind of find just something that almost feels like a nostalgic version of what is futuristic now, which kind of is very hard to balance the strike, but kind of works.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So anyway,
it's interesting for the newer generation because they're growing up in the future, right? Because from us, from what we've seen, so for them, they're like, what? These kids are, they're born into iPads and iPhones and tablets and video conferencing and calls because that's what they know. Yes. Like, so it's not cool for them. This is a regular Tuesday for them, so there's nothing exciting about it.
I remember seeing like Skype at Epcot. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
really? Oh my God!
Like,
yeah.
You can make it. If you stand behind this wall, and you can see your friend who's like, some grainy like thing came through, and that's like, that's like every day now. My dark and face. It's like the Jetsons. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God! I need a Rosie the robot. That'd be great. Right. That would be just make our lives a lot easier.
Hey, wow, that's an idea. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome
for going through this. And will you come back?
Of course.
Another one?
1,000%.
I think I could probably do this for another 5 hours. We just went on like a 10-minute digression on the Carousel of Progress, and that was like, was the highlight of my day.
We can talk about rides, any of the theme parks in Florida. I've been to the ones in California, Disneyland Paris.
Wow.
So I have those 3 under my belt.
Disneyland Paris, huh?
Oh yeah.
That might be the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go there.
I have I think opposite opinions from everybody on Disneyland Paris.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, hot take. To do that. Okay. Well, we're going to do this again then very soon. Well, so for all you listeners out there, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to book a fantastic Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party vacation any time of year, just get in touch. Steve@justaddmagictravel.com. And that's it. So you want to take us out, special guest, Andres?
Sure.
I just say like shout out to Disney World.
Shout out to Disney, to Walt Disney, Walter Elias Disney, for making these theme parks such an integral part of our childhood. I will say, I think I always love to think creatively because of Disney, because of what they do. So not to be sappy about it, but it's just really, really cool. And thank you for having me on here. I'm very excited, and hopefully we get to do this again because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Disney.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow out there,
There you go.